Call the meeting to order. Meeting of the Economic Development and Planning Committee. First item on the agenda is the privilege of the committee chair. Anything anyone would like to say? First off. Second item is resolution authorizing the chairman to sign agreement, continuation of the CLEO agreement between the County of Montgomery and the counties of Fulton and Schoharie to comply with the implementation requirements of the Workforce Investment Act of 1998. I'm sorry. Wishes of the committee?
Yes, we need a second to it.
We need a second on it. Ron Barone? Wishes of the committee? Move it with a positive? I'll just move it, okay. Then we'll move that. Resolution number 2. Resolution between Fulton and Montgomery Schoharie Workforce Development Board and Consortium for one-stop operating services. And need a second on that. Ron Barone? Anything from the committee? Any comments? Wishes of the committee? Move it.
Move it.
Move it. Motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute, I think Gail wants the floor.
Gail, did you want to speak on these issues?
Not on those actually, because I have a quick request that I'd like to make to the committee to consider. And that is right now in Montgomery County and in Fulton County, we are lacking 3 business board members in each of those 2 counties. And part of our problem is that our businesses now are regional. So your policy, Fulton County's policy is you only appoint residents of the county regardless of who owns the business. And right now, with the 3 vacancies we have, we can't fill them because we've got 3 great businesses. The owners live out of the county, their employees, a lot of them, particularly higher level about the county. So my board would like you to consider appointing non-residents when it's to the benefit of you and us to have those particular businesses represented on the board, because that helps the job seekers, it helps our businesses. So I won't ask you to act on it tonight, but I would like to leave you with some information on it.
Sure.
If you don't mind, I think I have enough for everybody. Robin said 16,
Ron.
and I think I've got more.
Yeah.
Ron,
Gail.
you have a question for me?
Yes, I do. We don't have any businesses in the county. Where are they?
No, the businesses are in the county.
Yeah.
You
There
might
has to be a
understand-
lot of, I know about 7 people that live in this county that are owners of businesses that live in the county.
Sure. And
Or do we select certain people?
that's a good question. What we look at is demand occupations. What are the larger employers? We look at healthcare. An example would be St. Mary's Hospital. We do have an appointment from Fulton County. They have that appointment, but we could have had Don Massey, but he lives in Cobleskill. A second example would be, we've been working very closely with River Ridge. Again, the owners live out of the county. We've been working with Helen Marks. They're very interested. The owners live out of the county, but they employ a regional workforce. And they're all what we call demand occupations: manufacturing, distribution, healthcare, tourism.
But there are employees there that are salespeople, department heads. They don't qualify for it. Why wouldn't they?
According to WEA, the rules and regulations that we all follow, as much as possible, they should be the owner, the vice president, or a person in a policy-making position, because they might have to vote on a resolution that night, and Jeff knows, Jeff sits on the board, where they don't have time to call their employer and say, hey, is this okay? Should I vote on this? They need to be comfortable saying, this is good for my business. It might be something like training funds. How much are we going to spend in training funds this year? Do we need to raise the level, the minimum wage that we support? With our training policies right now, if an employer doesn't pay $10 an hour, we don't want to support that job with on-the-job training, because you're really supporting low-wage jobs when you drop that to minimum wage.
And
So
this
those
is,
are the kinds of
yeah, this
decisions.
is dictated by the state.
Yeah, the state and the
So
federal
wouldn't we
government.
go to the state and have them change? Why is it always the county has to change to retrofit and not the state. That's what I don't understand.
And actually, you don't have to change. We're simply making a request. We have done that in Schoharie County for the last 12 years. Kent's Plastics, which is an advanced manufacturing firm, that when you go into a Kodak or you go to have an MRI and that huge machine comes down, chances are that was made in Cobblestone. The owner lives in Niskayuna. We don't want to not have that business represented. Bassett Hospital, the Vice President for Human Resources, lives in Scotia. We don't want to not have that healthcare institution represented.
Vic Gianelli is the CEO, he lives in Amsterdam, St. Mary's Hospital.
Right, but St. Mary's Hospital, unfortunately, in that case, is a Fulton County seat. And it's the way it was made up years ago.
Well, it should change, I think. That's my view. Thanks, Gail.
Sure, not a problem. Any other questions? Again, it's something just for you to think about, but the board did pass the resolution. It's included in your packet. And we hope you give it consideration, at least on a case-by-case basis, if not a blanket approval. Any other questions? No? Well, then, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Anything? Motion to adjourn. By Greg, second by Sully.
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? So carried.
Call the meeting of the Education and Government Committee to order. First on the agenda, any one from the committee wish to speak on anything you got in your mind? Okay, if not, we'll move to a resolution amending the 2013 operating budget, postage Board of Elections. I sponsor it. Do I have a second? Herb Allen, second. Yes, Ron.
I'm going to question you move $4,000 for what?
Well, we had the two election commissioners, but
You
this
don't
year,
tell them. Let's hear the explanation for this $4,000.
I got an explanation from, but I let them explain it to you directly, and you'll know.
Do you ever get this card in the mail?
Probably all the time.
Once a year. Once a year, okay, we're required by election law to send these cards out, and the information that's on it is also directed by election law. Well, since we've got to Spanish-speaking people, we now have to increase the size of the card, which increases the postage by 14 cents a card.
Can I ask you a question too? Because I'm in the third ward, and we don't have a voting place now. How are we going to do those cards if we don't have a voting place?
You have a voting
Well, you're saying that we can't use the Century Club any longer.
card. You're using the Century Club as well as Inman Center for both the third districts in the third ward.
This can't be. I've never seen it before. This is this year. This is going to change this year.
Yes.
So we're having people all over the place.
Right.
God bless you. Thanks,
Terry,
Terry.
one other question while you're up. Did you have that in your budget? Was it budgeted for originally and taken out?
No, it wasn't taken out. It was originally in the budget, okay, for what we've been paying every year. But because of the size of the card increasing, the postage is going up 14 cents per card. And it's still about the same number of cards we've been going out for the last couple of years, which is 26,000. So that's the only thing, and it'll be that way from now on because it has to be in Spanish as well.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Wish of the committee?
Move it.
Move it. Okay, let's move.
Nothing you can do. Hey.
The second resolution is appointing a member to the Board of Trustees of Fulton Montgomery Community College. I sponsored that. Do I have a second? Supervisor Sweet. And we have a name there. Any discussion? Comment? Wish of the committee? Move it. Move it. Next resolution is a resolution establishing a public hearing, FMCC 2013-2014 operating budget. I also sponsored that. I need a second. Who did I see there? Dominic, okay. Discussion? Questions? Wishes of the committee? Move it. Let's move. The last resolution is a resolution amending the 2013 operating budget transportation. I sponsored it, and I need a second. Supervisor Sweet. Discussion.
Yes. Why do we have to have Teamsters delivering Pepsi?
Can I explain for a second?
Yeah, I would love
Well,
to have this. And I'm a
I
Teamster.
went on the internet and I saw my package for the following, for tonight, and I saw it on there, and I have no idea, I was never asked about it, and I had no idea what this resolution is. I went in and talked to Robin about it, she explained it to me somewhat. If there's anyone, is the sheriff, can he possibly explain this? Is it something, okay, not you. I guess they moved furniture up here, it was donated to us by Pepsi from New York City.
That's you, Mike.
And
Mike, you know what it is.
does anybody have any? John,
I'll give it a valued attempt here.
please.
PepsiCo, from what I understand, was it White Plains?
I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I found out through the New York State Sheriff Association about a corporation that's non-for-profit that actually gets rid of furniture from corporations that are either taking their buildings down, moving out, getting new furniture, whatever. I contacted this company and, this not-for-profit, and the company was PepsiCo out of Westchester, down in New York. And I contacted Tom Quackenbush asking him if I can get a tractor trailer to bring the furniture back. The furniture is for free as long as you can get it back here. We ended up getting 2 tractor trailer loads of furniture. It was in very good shape, the furniture. In fact, it went to other agencies in the county, went to towns, went to fire departments. So we shared the wealth, and we got rid of just about every piece of furniture that we got. The only thing, we were talking to the Teamsters, they kind of asked if we could pay for some of the expenses of driving that truck all the way down there. If you look at the bill, I think it was like $700. We got probably $10,000 worth of furniture. So, and it's good furniture. So, that's the story in a nutshell.
And the resolution calls for
Yeah, yeah, we only have
$597.
We already have 20-some money in that account, so this is just making up the difference.
Making up the difference. Anyone else? Any Supervisor Quackenbush?
Just to let you know, I went down and picked up the furniture with the driver. It's $50 going across the Tappan Zee Bridge, $50 coming back twice, 4 trips. You know, once over, once back, that's $200 of it. Gas was $4 a gallon. That's what you got charged for, was the gas and tolls. Nothing, no labor involved.
Just the expenses that were involved in doing it. And I guess if we got that many dollars worth of furniture, it sounds to me like it was pretty good.
You may got a little bit more than $10,000 worth.
Well, if we got $1,000 worth, that'd be good. You know, you got a good deal, obviously. But,
It's self-service, doesn't it?
I was gonna,
yes.
we did very well with the Pepsi furniture. If you'd like to walk upstairs and see some of our new suites, well, maybe it's a bad idea. So we can redirect that furniture, but we did very well, and I want to thank the board and thank Mike for that.
You were actually looking for a UPS truck, weren't you? No, originally that's what you had called and asked if I could get some UPS trucks.
Yeah.
But just wasn't gonna happen.
Okay. Anyone else? Move it?
Yeah.
Let's move. Under other, anybody have anything under other? I do have one small item. You'll be receiving new information. There's another meeting of the committee on June 24th, I think it is, at 4 p.m. to work on the administrative code.
June 24th,
Yeah, June 24th,
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. And Stephen Aquario will be here. Once again, he was here the last meeting we had on the 3rd. And he'll be here again in the meeting on the 24th. Very, very helpful. He took a lot of notes back and he's going to bring us back a lot of information. I think it's going to be very, very helpful. So just so everybody's aware of that. I mean, everyone obviously, I encourage to attend the meeting, but for the committee, that's June 24th at 4 o'clock. So anything else under other? Motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor, adjourn? We're adjourned.
Right.
That's right.
They were shuffled. Call Public Safety Committee meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is general discussion privilege of the chair, committee members, board members. Anyone have anything? If not, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the law library. Sheriff, would like to speak on that?
Yes, remember last month we spoke about this, and we were told to come back and talk to the board concerning it again. I sent you the letter explaining what we found out. We don't have a clerk, so it's a sign to doing that. So my plan is anybody that's represented by the Public Defender's Office, we will send that request to the Public Defender. I sent him a letter addressing that issue. Anybody that isn't represented by the Public Defender, we're going to have to figure out how we want to do this and what we're going to do. I'm probably going to ask the board for money to put in a line to probably pay an attorney on the outside to do the to look up the stuff that we need.
You may want to fill, some of the numbers weren't here last month, just a general.
What is, the state of New York requires the sheriff's office or the jail to have a law library for the inmates, free to the inmates. And we're required to have a certain amount of resource in there for them. Well, we got a new computer system that we pay for, the county pays for, and we download a hard drive onto the computer, and it has all the information that's required by the state on that computer. But inmates will ask for stuff that isn't there, and by law, we're required to get it to them in a timely fashion. We had just done this dance with the state where one inmate didn't get the stuff in time, and they filed a grievance. We won. They appealed it, and the Citizens Review Board said, no, you should have got it to this person in 2 days. And then on top of that, the system that we did use in the past has fallen apart. We were using the county court, and the county court does not want to do it apparently anymore because they haven't gotten back to us with doing it. So we're trying to find other means to do it. Other counties use their public defender's office, or they use them as the person to coordinate to get this information. Last month we asked the committee here if that could be possible, or a couple months ago we had a resolution passed to do that. Public Defender Society does not want to do that, so we were instructed to come back to you, research and come back to you. I've sent you a letter stating what we found in surrounding counties, and that's where we stand. I mean, you got $500,000 worth of attorneys on county payroll. I guess you can give me a couple $1,000 so I can go outside and get one.
Well, how much of a LexisNexis system do you have over there that you're using currently?
I got what's required by law, Tom, to give me the outline of what you need to state. And LexisNexis, of course, we're not the only one, so they have a package made just for that. So that's when we buy.
Why can't we upgrade to the full package so that they have all the information available to them? I mean,
Well, the full
that-
package will probably be the internet, and I don't want to give them the internet.
well, I'd like the language taken out that we're going to force the public defender's office to actually be responsible for that. Because if the language remains in there, then the opportunity exists to pass that along to the public defender's office and then be responsible for it. He's got enough work to do. He doesn't need to be taking care of the inmates at the jail, other than ones he's already taken care of. To be taking care of other ones that may cause a conflict anyways, because they're already represented by an attorney, and that if he steps in and gives them information, happens, God forbid if it's the wrong information, it becomes a problem, it becomes a conflict for him. So I don't really think the language should be in there for us directing the public defender's office to be able to use that information or to provide that information. It should be taken right out of the package, and if you need to get LexisNexis and upgrade the system, have it upgraded. That's, I think, would be less expensive than paying an attorney and paying an attorney's benefits if they were to come to work for the county.
Well, it's not cheaper to get upgraded LexisNexis, I'll tell you that.
well, that's what attorneys are using today.
It's $4,000 a year.
Well, that's cheaper than an attorney.
Could I say a few words? And this is for the supervisors that weren't here last time. The sheriff, I did get the letter from the sheriff, thank you, stating that he was going to refer to my office, public defender questions, legal issues, which is acceptable. But as Supervisor DeMeza said, there's still a resolution that I think obligates me beyond that, and that is a concern for me. Last time I said that I wasn't aware of any public defender's office that was doing this, and I think the sheriff looking into it, his research bears that out. There isn't. The last time I said I checked with Schenectady County, I thought there was some information that they were doing it, and Mark Caruso, the public defender there, told me no, he's not doing it. What he did was he interviewed law clerks from Albany Law School and recommended to the sheriff law clerks that would do legal research for the Schenectady County Sheriff Office. He had money in his budget for that. And my suggestion was that law clerks certainly are not going to get, I clerked when I was in law school, and I don't know what the clerking fees are now, but they're not fees that are comparable to an attorney. And they know the law, they can do research, and they can, for a fraction of what you could get an attorney, you could get a law clerk at Albany Law School to do it. And so I'm just, and as I said last time, my office does not have the staff to be doing this. You know, if the sheriff's database doesn't contain the information, my database is a tenth of what he has, which would mean if it's up to the public defender to find this information, where would I be obligated to go to get it? Albany Law School or FMCC? I mean, we just don't have the staff for that. And then secondly, last time I said that if my office isn't representing an inmate at the jail, the odds are pretty good that there's a conflict of interest. And so I can't be assisting, you can call it research or whatever you want, but lending legal assistance to somebody who has an adverse position to one of my clients is unethical. I just can't do it. So I would ask the board, and I mean, I think the sheriff's position is already sent me a letter stating basically what he's agreeing to, and I accept that. But as for this resolution, I would ask the board to modify the resolution to relieve the public defender, because it's still on the books, and I don't want to be running afoul of a resolution.
So we need to do that, but then we also have to have a way to disseminate this information to the inmates. We can't just say, we just can't, I might agree with you taking you out, but then we have to have another method in place.
Well, I read some an email from the sheriff, and some of what other counties are doing, they're having clerks do it. They're not having lawyers do it. It doesn't require a lawyer to do it. As I say, a law clerk from Albany Law School, they have an office down there, an intern office. It's set up for this kind of a thing. And you could probably get a law clerk. The sheriff in Schenectady, I was told, was paying $12 an hour. Now, you know, you could pay a lawyer $75 or $100 an hour, or a law clerk $12, and to do it. And so I'm just saying it's not workable for a public defender. no other county that I'm aware of in the state does it. Because it's potentially illegal for the conflicts.
Done.
Yeah, I have a question. I thought I read recently, and I thought maybe you mentioned it before. Is there legislation in the pipeline to modify the requirements
Yes.
of the law library?
Yes, the
And-
New York State Defenders Association in Albany sends out emails periodically, and this was a month ago, maybe you know.
Well, I know, you're talking about Albany County?
No, I think there's something,
Albany County,
no, in the
inmates
state,
there are suing because they want the internet.
no,
They want to get rid of the law library.
no, what I read, Mike, was that there was a Senate or Assembly bill to
Correct.
modify the requirements of the law library.
Yes.
And
that's in
I don't know
the
where
works.
that went, but,
So I don't know where that is exactly, but what I read actually from the State Defenders Association, there was a proposal in the legislature to actually eliminate the requirement that the sheriff have a library. So that probably won't fly, but I don't, some modification might be, personally, I don't know if this resolves it, but, I said this last time, it's like standing reason on its head. That somebody can sit in a jail and send out a demand for documents and expect to have a response in 2 days. I would, I'm not going to tell the sheriff what to do, but I would appeal the decision of the Citizens Review Board. I mean, that's ridiculous that somebody, I said last time, I know a man who built a house with a table saw. They have the Home Depot at the jail now, this LexisNexis program. I mean, a few years ago, before computers, they had a couple of books.
Plenty of books.
Well, plenty of books,
And
but I mean,
$1,000
not the database now, at your fingertips. And if that is not sufficient, I mean, like I say, I operate my office on 1/10 of the database the sheriff has at the jail. So, I don't know, you might have a different opinion on how.
I don't have the letter in front of me, Sheriff, but you did give some of the research that you found, what the other counties were doing.
They have clerks on staff, they have officers that do it, they have a library, a county librarian that does it. And then they said they use some type of a county computer program to do it.
Can we hire some of these law clerks to, some of these
That's
frivolous lawsuits that
Schenectady
we have in the county though?
Schenectady County.
$20 an hour.
Well, Schenectady County, that's what they've been doing. According to Mark Caruso, the Schenectady County Public Defender, told me that the sheriff in Schenectady was utilizing Albany Law School law clerks to do it. I don't know if they're still doing it, but they were.
I would research it.
Well,
I understand from the sheriff that they're not, Albany County is not doing it with law school, nor Schenectady County, either one.
Right. Well, Albany is not doing it. I was told they were doing it with a clerk in Schenectady. Wasn't told it was
But
legal.
they're not using Albany Law School, is that
I
correct?
wasn't told it was lawful, but maybe it's a misunderstanding. I don't care which way you go, but I need an answer to get this information when it's requested. That's all.
so internet is really, it's a safety risk, I mean, it's a
That, in
problem.
fact, is going to be spending a lot of money, a lot of money. Like I said, what I'm paying now is $4,000 a year just for the package I have. That's $6,000 less than what I was paying a year for the books. But it's still not, they can answer something, a case that I don't have. That's the problem.
Is there any addendum or anything you can get to the existing program you're using now from the
I can
company?
go to a bigger package.
Pardon?
I can go to a bigger package, it's going to cost a lot more money.
Would that solve the problem?
I don't know, but, it's a 50/50. If they don't answer something I don't have, I mean, if they answer something I don't have, I'm still not going to
You're
answer.
right back where you were.
Yeah, that's the problem. I still have that issue no matter what. I can get the biggest package in the world. I still have to have that
Well,
resource.
my thought process is that the additional package would have what they're asking for that you don't have.
It's a better chance, that's all I can tell you.
Sheriff, how many cases do we actually have?
There isn't that many.
You know what I'm saying? How many times would we cross this? Do you know?
What I say, 5, 6 times, maybe at the max, 10.
I expect as soon as they find out something you don't have, they'll all ask for it.
Well, that's too bad. like this.
So you really only have two options. You either need to go with the internet, which is not a good scenario,
Or a big,
or we have to hire outside help to do the research when needed, on an as-needed
I could
basis.
try to find some kind of clerk somewhere that'll, do the work.
how much additional is the add-on package that might possibly have what you need?
Don't know.
Because that might solve the problem.
Yeah, it may or may not. I mean, you could
May or
spend the
may
extra
not.
money and still not have the case, or, you know. that
And
they're
the
looking
company
for.
doesn't offer any kind of assistance if they don't have it.
They sell the stuff, supervisors, they don't.
They just sell it, that's it.
Tom?
Well, again, I think we need to take the public defenders, the wording of the public defender out of this resolution, and we can place in there that we would seek outside help, period.